Hello everybody, welcome back to the Forest Job. Second leg of the Champions League match against Chelsea today. Of course, we take a 3-0 lead in with us. 3 away goals, very, very good performance from the team. Before we play that game against Chelsea, we have another game against Chelsea, whose highlights I would like to direct your attention to right now. So a very good day in front of goal for the two clinical strikers, Pellegrini and Werner. Some questionable defending, and it wasn't exactly our first string, but it has left me refocused on the fact that we do need to do a professional job against Chelsea this time out. So let's have a look at who's going to be playing for them and who's going to be playing for us. It's a familiar 4-3-3 formation for Chelsea. Looks like Tammy Abraham will be leading the line this time out instead of Timo Werner. That's very good news for us. Thior doesn't even make the bench, it looks like. This is a very different team to the one that we played in the league. It really is. Okay, well, I'm not too sad at that fact, but let's have a look at who's going to be playing for us, more importantly. Nubel, just about enough stamina to be able to pull this one off, but I'm thinking Meslier is not exactly a massive step down, so I think we'll throw Meslier in for Nubel, just to give him a little bit of a breather. Camavinga looking a little bit tired as well, so we will give... Ooh, do we give Tonali or Bellingham a go in the middle? Let's give Youth a run out, shall we? So Jude Bellingham will start in the centre for us. Hudson-Odoi can play on the left. Sailmakers can have a game on the right. And I think that's probably about all we need to do. Really shouldn't have players on the bench who are knackered as well. We should look to freshen things up. Hernandez can go on the bench. And instead of Camavinga, we'll go with Molino. Haaland only just recovered from injury. No need to rush him back. Hopefully, we should have enough in the tank to deal with Chelsea today. But I think that's going to do it for us. That looks like a pretty strong first 11. That'll be the team that takes on Chelsea. Let's see what we can do today at home. Of course, keeping a clean sheet of paramount importance. If they can't score, they can't win. If we can keep them to 2 goals, I'll be happy. But after that league game, I am slightly concerned about the fact that Chelsea may have formulated a game plan against our particular style of play. Playing a team 3 times in a row is always going to be a tricky one if you want to get wins in all games. Of course, we didn't manage that in the league. We ended up with a 2-2 draw as Hudson-Odoi picks up the ball. Looks for Bellingham, but sells him short. And here's Bernardo Silva. Salisu caught napping. Worrell will have to come out to Kai Havertz. It's gone into middle for Abraham. And it's headed wide by the big English centre-forward. It's difficult to know exactly what the thought process is of the Chelsea manager, Frank Lampard, in putting Abraham in above Werner. Werner had great joy against this Forest defence last time out. You would imagine that you'd want to keep a striker who can score 2 goals against the opposition on the field. But they've decided that they're going to instead go with Tammy Abraham. Perhaps they've written the Champions League off at this point, I don't know. But he did start their first leg as well. Ait-Nouri, great pressure from the left back. He's caught upfield though, and we need to be a little bit careful of the counter. And here comes the counter. Tammy Abraham into Pulisic. Leighton Baines picks it up after it's played a little bit too long. Busquets to Bellingham. Bellingham's been dispossessed. Not the right ball to him, I think. And Chelsea playing very well in the opening minutes here. Salisu through to Hudson-Odoi, who will pick this on up. But again, he can't get the pass away before he's tackled. And this is a real problem for us at the moment, is seemingly being able to get our passes away. Taking a look. Ooh. Interesting. Meslier indulging in a little bit of flight there. Just levitating. Bellingham already is showing little signs that he might not be the best choice in the middle of the pitch in this game. Here's Odoi, again unable to get the pass away, and Chelsea now on the counter with Pulisic. Mason Mount, ball being played further and further back. Kai Havertz picks out a wonderful ball though. Kante looking to chase onto it. Ait-Nouri gets there first and can't do anything with it other than give it back to Kai Havertz, who skips past the one challenge. Tammy Abraham on the turn. Good save from Meslier. Here's Sailmakers to Zayfuck. Bellingham again. He's dispossessed again. This is a really poor performance by Jude Bellingham. That's a nice little back heel from him though. Oh, Busquets not able to get that pass away. And this seems to be the story of the match so far. Is Nottingham Forest's inability to get rid of the ball when they need to. They're just... Oh dear, Pulisic! Still in the box. Salisu goes out behind. It's going to be a corner. Which we're going to have to deal with, and I'm already thinking about what we can do about the Bellingham situation. I think maybe if we could move him out onto the wing, that might make more sense, as Bellingham does a good job of winning the header and getting it away. Now here's Pellegrini, him and Arcas versus 3 Chelsea defenders. Sailmakers now. This is good play by Forest, although Sailmakers not quick enough to get away from the defence, so he's going to have to play it back. Here's a cross from Sailmakers. Arcas near post, and he just puts it wide. But that's the first incident there of Nottingham Forest really showing their teeth Good movement from Arcas. He was always in front of the defender, just needed to get the shot on target, and unfortunately not quite able to do so, as the play is restarted by Benaglio from the goal kick. Christensen out wide right, to Kosunu. Benaglio, long one forward, Aït-Nouri underneath it, doesn't win the header. Kai Havertz, lovely looped header over to Tammy Abraham. Abraham's still on the ball, gets it out to Havertz. Now the right back played into the middle for Abraham. Bernardo Silva, good save by Meslier from the shot of Bernardo Silva. It was right at him. We've seen those go in before. Saelmakers to Busquets. Bellingham again into Hudson-Odoi. Pellegrini back to Bellingham. He's got a little bit of space to run into here. Pellegrini, shot, and very well saved by Benaglio. Perhaps the young English midfielder is starting to play his way into the game now, as Arcas looks to put pressure on the back line. Zuma gets it out to Leighton Baines. Saelmakers overcommits himself. This ball through, which Aït-Nouri manages to deal with, and the goalkeeper plays it out to Worrell. Then Zefuk. Saelmakers now. Good ball through, but Arcas never with the pace to really challenge Zuma for the ball. Now Christensen out wide right. Kosunu to Kante. Looking for Kosunu. It's a good take, but he just overstretches himself a little bit. Puts it out for a goal kick, which Meslier will take. And he's looking here for Saelmakers, finds him, and there's the half-time whistle. And I think I'm going to have to make a couple of tiny little tweaks, because although we're in the game, we've not really looked that dangerous. Now, my first inclination is Bellingham to come off completely. My second inclination is to throw him onto the right-hand side for Saelmakers, and to bring Tonali into the centre, and that's what we're going to do. So the Italian midfielder, who's really had a bit of a struggle to establish himself in this Forest team over the last couple of years, comes in with the chance to do so here. Is Pellegrini just putting pressure on Christensen, but not overcommitting. So fuck on Pulisic, through to Tammy Abraham. Good ball. Looks like the goalkeeper will get there first, though. Meslier just rolls it out. It's Salisu to Tonali. Lovely ball into Hudson-Odoi. Now Pellegrini. Pellegrini out to Aït-Nouri. He's had to stretch himself a little bit further wide. Looking for the cross, couldn't find it, but managed to win himself a corner kick, which he'll take himself. Aït-Nouri out swinger to Hudson-Odoi. Header just wide. But it's a good effort. It's a lovely play across the back, but it's not getting Chelsea anywhere, and they still need to score 3 goals, remember. That's a nice ball out to Bellingham. That's a lovely ball into Arcas. He got past his man, but somehow miscontrolled the ball. Looked like he was a little bit confused as to where he was. Now Busquets should pick this one up. Putting it over the top, looking for Hudson-Odoi. And Kosunu puts it out for a throw-in. Probably the best thing that he could do under the circumstances. Is Odoi into Tonali. Plays it back to Aït-Nouri. Into Busquets, who might hit one here. He does, but it ricochets off the wall. And now Bernardo Silva. That's a good win by Salisu. And now Hudson-Odoi. He's looking for Bellingham. He finds him, but Bellingham can't do anything with it other than put it wide of goal. Really, he should have cut it back and looked for this next pass on. Lovely vision from Hudson-Odoi, though. A brilliantly weighted ball, perhaps slightly too heavy, if I'm being hypercritical. But good play by Forest. They're looking a little bit more into it now in the second half here. Salisu should win this header. Now Tonali. Arcas, it's a 2-on-1. Arcas across for Pellegrini. Oh, it's off the post. He was almost too accurate. Odoi will get there first. And wins the throw-in, which he will take himself. Aït-Nouri. Crossed into the box, Bellingham underneath it. Doesn't win the first header, looks to win the ball second time round. They fuck now to Tonali. Oh, it's a lovely looking ball. Just cut out by the defence at the last second. Chelsea have got Forest a little bit stretched here at the back. Pulisic, still Pulisic. And Busquets puts it behind for a corner kick. And we're going to make a change here. And I'm thinking we might give it to Hernandez. Why not? He's been frozen out as of late. The arrival of Erling Haaland has really put the cat among the pigeons as far as starting players are concerned up front for Forest. Oh dear, that's awful. That was really, really bad. We got away with it. Got away with it big time. Here's Hudson-Odoi, plays it into the feet of Aït-Nouri. It's looking for Hudson-Odoi again, but it's a really poor pass. Hudson-Odoi puts the pressure on, but can't do much else other than what you saw him do there. Now a long ball down the middle, Worrell looking to win it. He does, Bellingham. Busquets to Tonali. Somehow Odoi gets hold of the ball. I think Hernandez is offside here. He is. It'll be called back. A real shame. 75 minutes gone. Still 0-0. 3-0 to Forest on aggregate. Oh my goodness me. I have no idea how that didn't get just walloped into the goal by the defender, but somehow we got away with it. Now we have to defend a Mason Mount free kick. The wall does its job. Bellingham trying to get to the ball. Hudson-Odoi leading the charge. Hernandez in a lovely position. Puts it through to Arcas. And it's 1-0 on the night, 4-0 on aggregate. There was a feeling of inevitability about the goal. And it's that understanding between Hernandez and Arcas which keeps the Colombian ticking over at the club, despite the fact that there are clearly better strikers on offer. It's a lovely finish by Arcas outside of the boot. Cheeky as anything. Oh, just offside. There was a lovely move being formulated there by Forest. You could see Bellingham making the run on the right. If Hernandez had been onside, Arcas could have fed him through. We're going to make our last couple of changes. Frimpong to come on for Zayfuck. And Hudson-Odoi, I think, has run his race. Molino will come on for him. No, he won't, because we've already made all of our changes. How have I made all of my changes when there's only two of them here? Pellegrini and Sailmakers. Oh, because we're making the change of Frimpong. Okay, never mind. I don't understand how to count from 1 to 3, apparently. Never mind. Okay, so Kosunu will restart play with a long kick up the park. Worrell underneath it. Doesn't win the header, though. Hudson-Odoi looking to pick up the second ball. Doesn't manage that. Aït-Nouri to defend. That's lovely, calm play out of defence for Forest. Hernandez surely onside. He is onside. Can he score? Yes, he can. 2-0. Where was this Nottingham Forest performance in the Premier League? Some will ask. It's 5-0 on aggregate. No way Chelsea are coming back from this now. And Hernandez, having set one up, has scored another. Managed to keep himself onside. Very intelligent movement by the Colombian. And he just sticks his laces through it. Absolutely no chance for the Chelsea goalkeeper there. And it's 2-0 on the night. Salisu. Now Frimpong, can he defend it? No, he can't. But the ball falls to Worrell anyway. Oh, come on, get it. Get it. He can't quite get hold of it, Bellingham. But he's played much better after his initial hiccups in the centre of midfield. That's not a free kick. That's a terrible pass though. Bellingham's definitely improved, especially playing out on the right hand side. Despite his profile, you have to say he is a better player out wide, isn't he? Here's Tonali. Can he release Hudson-Odoi? Well, it's not the best pass, if we're being honest. Here's Ait-Nouri. Hudson-Odoi. Ait-Nouri again. Back to Hudson-Odoi once more. Now Tonali. Busquets. Shapes one. Oh my goodness me. He was looking to do an Arcas. He couldn't quite manage it. And there is the final whistle to bring a pulsating game of football to an end. Chelsea never really at the races, and once Nottingham Forest got that opening goal, it was quite clear it was only ever going to go one way. The requirement of 3 away goals was more than Chelsea were able to produce today, and the boys in red march on to the next round of the Champions League. So a very even game once we got to the final whistle, but definitely one that Chelsea bossed in the first half. Bellingham looking better and better as the game proceeded, especially when moved out to the right-hand side. The double pivot of Busquets and Tonali working wonders for Nottingham Forest once the Italian was introduced in the second half. Hernandez coming off the bench to a man-of-the-match performance. He deserves it. I don't know if he'll be there next season. Well, no one will know whether he's there next season because this is my last season as manager, certainly on the channel. I'll probably do, as I said before, a bit of a private save behind the scenes. Look at those other results. Goodness gracious me. It was all very one-sided and it was all very much right-sided. Juventus beating Paris Saint-Germain by 4-1 in the second leg to win 5-1 on aggregate. Forest 5, Chelsea 0, we've all seen that. Manchester City, interestingly, after a 2-2 draw against Real Madrid in the first leg, went away from home to beat them 3-0 and to proceed to go through 5-2 on aggregate. And Atletico Madrid, never any doubt, after a 4-1 first leg demolition job of FC Barcelona, they followed it up with a solid 2-0 performance to finish it off 6-1. So, who do we get? Juventus, City or Madrid? Well, I'm not going to leave it long for you to find out because we're going to find out together right now by going into the schedule tab. And let's have a look and see. It's Juventus, everybody. Well. Okay, so I think probably what we'll end up doing is we will come back tomorrow for Nottingham Forest versus Leeds with highlights of Arsenal versus Forest. And then the day after, we will start the Champions League countdown. Whether we can make it through the semi-finals and get to our second consecutive final, you'll have to wait and see. But until tomorrow, thank you very much for watching. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.